So, good morning to all of you. This is the classroom video series in which I daily talks about whatever I learn in my classroom. But from last 2 days, I don't attending my classroom. So that's why in this videos I will discuss about those things, whatever I learned. Uh, uh, by my self study and my self efforts. Mm. So, in today's class, firstly, if I talk about what are the things that I learned, so today was my deadline of C programming, and I was started C programming from switch cache. After that, I started go to a statement. Then I am uh, failed. I was uh, following a book for uh, uh, C programming, but after studying some pages and lots of pages, I felt that it is not. It was um, a tough nut to crack. Hmm. So that's why I started to uh, covering my C programming through the online classes, and now I am on the function, and after finishing some portions, some questions of function, today I also discussed about recursion. So uh, today mainly I studied about function, what is function, and the types of functions, questions related to some functions, and then I studied about recursion and some problems, uh, coding problems on recursion. So if we talk about function, I will discuss about today function, then recursion, and I also, and because today is Monday, but last day was Sunday, and that day was my shoot day. Huh? On Sunday, I usually prefer to shoot videos, short videos, or long videos is every day, but short videos for Insta reel, for uh, uh, loud the sounds for the animals, and in generally we can say the bodies, the beings who are voiceless or whose voice are weaker on this society. So for those, I raise some voices on social medias, YouTube. So Sunday was not only my shoot day, but it was a post day. On Sunday, I uh, install the Insta and also other Insta mainly, and I schedule video for the next 1 week, for the next Sunday till next Sunday, and then I uninstall that. Hmm. So in today's uh, last last day, last night, I uploaded almost 10 videos, 10 shorts videos. So what a thing that I observed, that was uh, uh, that was good about my video shooting. So I got a thing that sometimes when I was using uh, musics like songs or some uh, uh, enthusiastic sounds in the background, uh, those musics are distracting a little bit of the actual thought, the actual uh, thing about which I was talking in the videos. So I preferred to keep the video without background music. And also I observed a thing, uh, it is better thing, it is better to upload videos on social medias. uh, don't enhance a lot your image. Mm. The visuals, don't enhance it um, more and more. Just keep it pure, keep it real, huh? As much as real uh, your video will be, as much as your video seems realistic, not extra or extremely edited. Hmm. Because whenever you saw any videos which was extremely edited, it seems like or seems like it is a good sign that uh, that content is weaker in itself, huh? Because content is what, a type of thought, a type of uh, something message, huh? So when your message is not powerful in the form of words, then you are tries to add some illustrations, mm, and brightness and whatever the decoration you integrate without reason. If that is genuine, it is right, but without reason you are just integrating lots of transition effects and lots of filter in your videos, that quite uh, bad or gives a very bad impression. Uh, so if I uh, talk about functions, uh, function, what is function? You see, function is nothing but a block of code. Mm. Function, it is similar to the maths function. Function is like a machine. Hmm. There is a machine, suppose here is a machine, and here is a machine, and machine, what does it? Function, you can say function like a machine. So machine what does? It takes some input and gives some output. Hmm? That is the uh, general purpose of the any machine. You you have to perform, and why a machine is needed firstly. So have you ever purchased such a machine that for doing several types of tasks with a single machine? Huh? No, you will never uh, got uh, most of the machine that can perform several work uh, uh, with a single machine. In itself, machine is nothing but a tool that can perform a similar task, a same task, again and again, again and again, again and again. That was the function and uh, function of any machine. So similar thing happens with function. It is a function. Machine has a function. Which type of function? A similar type of function. It always performs same task, same thing. So the function do same thing, does same thing. What it does take some input. huh? When you call it, when you bring it, machines you call it, and then you said you have to perform this work, you are for this work. Depends any machine you made, any machine, that machine you have to do this work. You declared the task of the machine. Then whenever you needed to this machine, you call that machine, you bring that machine again and again, again and again, again and again. For why? For what purpose? For the purpose of performing task. Which type of task? Similar task again, again, again and again. So a single machine can perform how many types of task? Single task. You have to perform another task several times, so you have to need one more machine, so you have to need one more function. So that is the basic thing. If you say, if I say about function, function is a block of code. You give some code in a block, and whenever you call this function, it comes and performs that task. So that is function. So if we talk about parts, what are, how many parts are in the function? So there are three parts, whose all functionality depends on or performed in these three steps, three parts. So function has three parts. First part is declaration. Declaration means what? Declaring means specifying or giving name first time. Or declaring means calling first time. You can say calling someone, calling first time. This is called declaring. Second part is called definition. Defining. You call someone first time and you said define. Definition. You give a definition to that. It means you have to do this task. You are made for this type of work and task. So you defined it. Firstly, suppose there is a person, Mohan. So you call Mohan first time. So that first time calling is what? Called declaration. After calling first time, you said Mohan's. Mohan, you are made for photo, uh, capturing photos, capturing videos. Firstly, you called Mohan first time and you defined Mohan for a task. Whenever I will call you, you come and click my photos. You will shoot my photos. So Mohan, all right. You define my task, what I have to do in this world, for what I have made. So that's fine. You define me. Then Mohan's can go anywhere. But you said whenever I will call you Mohan, you come and capture photos and videos. So again in the third part, we call function Mohan. Call for what? So Mohan will come for what? For this purpose. For that we are defined. Means your task is this, you have to do this. So I said a thing here. Function is nothing but block of code. That block of code is present in definition section, because this is the section where you define what have you to perform, what you have to perform as a function. Which similar function you have to perform again and again whenever you call here. This calling section mainly performs in main section of coding. Main is itself a function. We call also other functions in the main. So these are the three parts of the function. Fine. Now you have to know about the types of function. So types, if you talk about types, there are two types of function. Firstly, that is library function and user defined function. User defined function. Library function, what is library function? So library function is predefined function. It is already defined in the library of C library. So predefined function, what are the examples? Like the printf that we use scanf for printing and for the taking user input by scanf. These are the predefined functions. If we talk about user defined function uh, is defined by user for his convenience. Whatever you have to perform a task, you will use this. Suppose whenever you have to construct a statue uh, in several festivals, so-called festivals, we use statues of soil, clay. So if you have ever seen uh, the construction of the statues, the pratima of god and goddess, that are formed by clay, uh, basically the soil clay. So some parts of that statues are pre-made, and some of them have to perform the artist. Some of them have to made instantly as per requirement. Like if we talk about hands and fingers, they are pre-made. Also head portion, face are pre-made in the statues. But the overall body, hand, legs are not made. They will have to made at instant as per requirement by seeing the requirement of the server client, what he wants to made, what he wants to solve the problems, what is his desire. So according that we will define or we will made that. So that similar function performs in the user defined function. Suppose you have to perform a function, you have to perform a sum again and again, so you will define sum function. You have to perform you have to make a function that you can change Celsius to Fahrenheit temperature. So you will make a user defined function by itself for whenever you have to convert the Celsius into Fahrenheit, you will use that. So these are called user defined function. Fine. Now as we know that what is the syntax of function. So this firstly uh, syntax. What is syntax? As a function will define function with the return type. A function contains a return type, here, then function name we call function name. Then here in the parenthesis we use argument, not argument, we call it parameter. We can also call it the formal parameter. So how we this is the first section. We talked about three parts of the function. First, declaration, definition, and calling. So in that, this is the first section. Here we are declaring a function. For what purpose? So purpose is defined here. Means what are the desired tasks uh, um, that you have to perform by using this function. So you can you um, uh, explain or give a related keyword to his task here, and according to your requirement you enter some parameters that can you use in the definition section. After that we can write definition section as well as calling section, because everything starts every execution of every program starts with the main function, and calling section performs in the main section. So I will write it later. Mhm. Because as I have explained, I will explain again all the syntax too. So after that declaration, we define it. So int function name, again parameter, curly braces. In the curly braces, we curly braces means what? This is the block, and in this block you have to define what is the task for this function. Suppose this is the message function. There is nothing in that, because if for printing message we have no need to enter any argument. And if we say message, so we declared here first time call that you are a message function, and as a message your responsibility is whenever you called, just print what? Hello brother. Fine. So here we define its task. Whenever message you will be called, you will print what? Hello brother. So this is called definition section. So how we use any functions? So you use any functions in main section. Int main. So int main, what we call? So called. We call the functions. So for calling we use what? This portion. The function name followed by semicolon. So we can simply call the message. We called it. Return type main is int, so we will return 0. So if we call this is the complete syntax or complete form of. Here is the third section, here is the second section, second, third, first, here. So int main. So message will be printed in the output in the terminal. So which message will be printed? This message will be printed. And how it works? So if we call any message in the main section, so it goes to the which section? Definition section. What is defined in me? Because function is a block of code. So what is defined in its block? So according to that it has to perform his work. Whatever I will write here, anything, the counting, the tables, or hundreds of names, the fruits, salads, whatever, pen, pencil. This block of code will be printed exactly same or as per construction or expressions in the output by calling in the main section. So I hope you understood lots of the concept, and now I will uh, uh, share something about, I will tell you something, argument and parameter. So what is argument, arg, and parameter? Hmm. So in the declaration section, relation and definition, we saw here we can write something in the bracket. So whatever we write in the bracket, this is called parameter. Hmm. In the definition and declaration and the definition, whatever we can write here in the curly braces, this is known as what? Parameter. Parameter is also known as formal. Just they are what? Just they are showing formalities by being here. So they, we can call it formal parameter too. Argument, where is argument? So argument is found in calling section. When we call it in main, when we call it how? Call, whenever we call, here is a some desired constant or any number that we give, that is known as argument. It is also known as actual argument. Actual parameter or actual argument, both can be called. So it uh, it receives value, it takes gives value. So fine, we understood about parameters. So I want to tell something about some functions. So what is the function? What are the some functionalities, best functionalities about function? So function, if we talk about first interesting thing, we can uh, use several numbers of function in a single code. As much as required, we can use functions. Even hundreds, thousands, lakhs functions. This is the best quality of the functions. As for the requirement, you can use several machines for the similar task. Also, a single function, a single function uh, can be uh, executed, called in a different function, too many different function. Like if we say we have three functions: message, phone, and what? Message, phone, and photo. So in the message function, we can call the phone, we can call the photo function in the phone, as why and vice versa too. This message can be called in all these two, or these two can be called in a single one too. And the interesting thing about is that any function always contains one function, and that required function is none only than main function. In each and every function or each and every code, you will always got this function, that is main function. So related to main function, we can say that it is always b percent. And interesting thing about that, if we introduce other functions in the um, your code, like already we have introduced or declared a message function, so we can also call this message function, this main function into the message function, because in the last time we have declared the message function in the main section. But it is also possible its opposite, we can also call this main function into the message function. Fine. Hmm. Fine. So where will we call three uh, places, or three places are present. So whenever you have to call another function in its any functions, you will call it where? Definition section. Because declaration is what? Declaration is about first time calling, so you not don't do anything, just give name there. In calling section, just you call that you have to perform a work that I have defined about you. So everything, if you declaring other function to in a function, that all things goes in the definition section. So when if you have to declare or call this main function, you will call this in the message, message definition section, in the second portion of the second part of the function. Fine. So these are the things that we can easily understood about this, and to talk about other interesting things about functions, what is possible. No, no other than. So if we talk about now functions related questions, yeah, we should solve a question. Let's check it. Suppose I am taking an example of a function. Suppose we have to find a sum. So how can we find it? How can use as a function sum function? So firstly we will write load stdio dot h int. We can call main function here, but firstly we will use our real function that we have to show here. So we can use int sum. In sum we can take two parameters like int a and int b. And now this is our declaration that completed. Now we have to define it. What is the functionality of this sum function? So this sum function, what it will do, sum int a int b. In this block, what we have to perform by using this function, so just we have to do one thing, like we can declare a integer int c. So you have to just do c equal to a plus b. Fine. Fine. So now printf percentage d c. Fine. So this is the definition section. This is the main 3 lines in the block. Whenever I will call you some function, what you will do? You will first take means firstly you uh, declare a C for storing the result of a plus b, and then we can also simply we can do that by without using C. We can directly print the a plus b values, but it is more cleaner way to use the function for printing sum. Now we have the main portion. It is the also main portion because every coding or every execution, the execution of every code start with main functions. So in the main function, if we come main, and here in main what you have to do, just call this sum function. So how we'll call? So these are the variables a b, but we have to find sum of numbers, so we will also enter the numbers sum what 4 and 6. So we have to find this. Namaste. So we called here, and int main we can return 0. So this is the complete version. So easily we can understand the actual and formal parameter here. So here actual, that is also called argument. These two names for use these two portions. And if we talk about parameter and formal parameter, so these two words are used for these two mahodaya. Fine, understood? Okay. So now we come to the recursion. What is recursion? So let's firstly do recursion. Recursion is nothing but calling a function itself. In this we call a function in itself. This recursion functions similar to like we can say loops. Its functionality is like similar to loops. Okay. So let's take an example. How can we say that recursion, how recursions work, and for what purposes it used? So I said this used for calling same function in itself. It is also function, so everything will be the similar to the function. But additionally we will introduce a thing in its definition definition section, that is base case. Base case is that section where it's like for loop you give a termination, a condition that where you have to terminate, where you have to stop. So similarly in the recursion, as loop you give some condition that you have to stop here. Similarly, for calling again and again itself as a stop condition, we use the base case. Fine. Suppose we have a question related to print the sum of numbers in numbers. In number means uh, in number means what? Suppose I said 8. So you have to what to do? Just print the numbers before it. It 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for this purpose we can use, and why we use this, then you can see here. If we talk about find the, suppose we take n equal to 5. So for 5, n equal to 5, see here, for 5, 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, and then 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So till where? If n till n minus 1 plus n. We use this format, n minus 1 plus n. So n equal to 5. So what we will do? So n equal to 5 for 5. What we will do? 5 plus 4 plus means 1 plus what I am doing? 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus. I'm just making order. That's why I'm confusing it. But I can easily explain this. For 4, if the number is 4 for us, so how we can write it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Similar. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2. And for 1, just nothing but 1. So if you saw, this is nothing but base case where the code is terminated, code will be terminated. This is base case. Because function recursion is something like what, if you have seen that, have you ever seen like a, 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 a expression like f of x? If you took x equal to 2, x, so if you took x equal to 2, so if x equal to what, 4, so x equal to 4 equal to what, 16. So it performs like this, like f of x, just and it do something here and then it's returned to here, these functions. Now you have to perform steps like for similar function, there is a main section that gives it something value, these functions, and normal function. And this function, normal function, what it does, it process it and gives value to the main function. That generally happens. But in recursion, what happens? Here is a main function. It gives value to the function fx, This function gives value to the another function. If there is one more function available, this function will give to the value to this function, and this function will process this data, and then this data will be provided to this, and this data will, after processing here, provided to this, and after finally processing here, we will provide to the main function. So that's how actually the recursion works. So here, um, we have to perform a work. uh, we have to find the summation of n numbers. So we can, if we see, we can also write this section, this, for n equal to 5, n equal to 5 here, n equal to 5. We can also write it n minus 1 plus 5. N minus 1 equal 1 means what? Sum of sum of sum of n minus 1 in plus 5. So that can convert it into this format. And similarly, we can also write it sum of n minus 1 plus 4. Similarly, we can write it sum of n minus 1 plus 3. Similar for that, not similar for that, it will be the 1 again. So we can use this format for uh, printing the function again and again, mainly recursion. So now we come to the code, how it works. So for recursion, just we are going to take what a function, simple function int. What we are going to do here, just finding sum. The sum change so int, we can do some number n n fine, int n we defined here, declared here. After declaration, we will use main function. Why main function? Because every code start execution from the main function. This is main. In main, what we have to return? Just nothing but return me this. Fine. But before adding main, we will write our definition section, that is nothing but this. So int sum nm int n equal to, now is the interesting thing is that for defining, so what we have to do, we have to do call a function by itself. Suppose we have a function like sum nm, so we can make another function like int 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 is possible here, sum nm1, we can store here sum n minus 1. That's fine. Hmm? Can you remember this? Are you recognizing this format where we are using that similar function is here? Format is here. So now we can also again call this into the another function, that suppose int sum nm2. So what we will do here? Just nothing but firstly we will write this. Or not this, we can write this, because this is another format, simplest format for it. This sum nm1 plus n. Are you recognizing this format? Fine. Now for int return this final portion sum nm2. Fine. But if you write this and try to print by writing that, we have defined everything. Now we have to call this function for printing the, like we have to print what, just print sum nm5. Can this be printed? No. Firstly, we have not given the proper space for printing, like int s, suppose the story tells, and now we can print f percentage d s main return 0. But even now it will be not printed. Why? Because in this all code there is a no base case that where this code have to stop. If you show here, this will how it will be performs sum n minus 1, but final answer is here. It will become it will come as a form of answer. So what you are doing in this uh, recursive function, just you are taking a function and a sum of functions that is n minus 1, and you are just adding the next number. But from or till how numbers, there, that thing is not specified here, that is not declared here. So we will write that in the format of base case. So before this code, we will write here, define here the base case. So for base case we can also write here, if n equal to what will come 0, what we will do, we will write just return 1. Because we know that when n equal to 0 and the base case, if you know 5 4 3 2 1 0, then we will got 1. So that is the base case. Now we can also here we define the int sum name int that's completed. So this is the recursive function for the sum, and exactly similar way we will use for printing the what factorial factorial. We will perform the similar function. Hmm. Just in summation we will use that case in factorial. What we will do, 4 into 4, 3 into 2 into 1. Just we have to replace this sign with this sign, and a little bit of logic we will apply. You can easily convert into factorials problem. You can solve the factorials problem. So fine, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I do enjoyed this, and it was a quite interesting session for me, because whatever I learned, because I want to tell you too the interesting thing about the um studying and understanding anything in a better way is that whatever you want to learn in a better way, whatever you want to understand anything in a better way, in a proper manner, just learn that and explain it. You will find the gaps, you feel the hurdles, and the frictions. So those frictions are the main uh, thing that is called study. Struggling or facing difficulties, fighting with something is the actual thing of a study or learning something. Learning process. Not if you are not learning, you are not facing problems. So problems are saying that you are learning. Thank you.